You're just outside York. Move the train into platform 3 as signals allow. Okay. So we have a signal yellow, which means we're cleared into platform 3 at York. So put the headlights to the day position. Master key in. Reverser to neutral. And turn off the DRA. Test the radio.
Welcome to the remote radio test unit. Please leave your message after the tone.
This is the NRN radio test call.
So the speed limit is 30 miles an hour as we enter York Station. So back off the power and just let us coast into platform 3. So we are following along train 1 of Victor 91, the 1436 Newcastle to Reading service. Calling at Newcastle, Durham, Darlington, York, Doncaster, Sheffield, Derby, Birmingham New Street, Leamington Spa, Banbury, Oxford and Reading. So departing York at 15:36 and getting into Doncaster at 15:59. We're to follow behind a delayed Zoomer train to King's Cross. So aiming to stop here, because actually it's moved a bit. I didn't get all the train in the platform. The next stop is Doncaster, arriving at 15:59. So reverse the 2 forward. DRA off, return the guard's buzzer, and we can get going. So put the throttle to notch 3. So the Zoomer to King's Cross has already left. And we have a green aspect. So leaving York, the speed limit is still 30 miles an hour, and we have about 32 miles to Doncaster, where the train will go right towards Meadowhall in Sheffield. Speed limit is now 5 miles an hour, soon going up to 90. On the right is York Hallgate sidings. Speed limit is on 90, so we can put the throttle to max. And then the speed limit will soon be going up to 125. So one of you requested that I do the return journey of the video I did a while ago from Doncaster to York in a Voyager. Yeah, I thought about doing it in the cross-country HST, but the cross-country HSTs don't run on the Reading route, so I did it in a Voyager instead. Yeah, this train was originally meant to come into platform 4 at Doncaster, but for some reason, someone didn't put a signal on the up end of the platform. So I just created a scenario marker for platform 3B at Doncaster. The whole train does fit in the platform, barely. I mean, we're driving a 221, which is made of 5 coaches, apart from one of them. I think it's 221141. So last week was my first week back at university for the, I think it's winter term, term 2, from January to April. So our first week was, it was a week, because today, as in the 10th of January, I have my advanced programming coursework to submit. It's really hard. I mean, the first 4 parts of it aren't that difficult, because what I have to do is I have to create a scheduler program to schedule different aircraft to a flight with all the cabin crew, a pilot, and a first officer. So each of the different parts of an aircraft are stored in different files. Like the aircraft data, which could contain things like the tail code, the home base, the number of passengers, and so on, is stored in a CSV file. A CSV file is a comma separated values file where all the data is separated by commas, and you can just open it in an Excel spreadsheet. We're now passing through. What's it? I've forgotten its name. It begins with C. Cotton Junction. But the line straight on goes to Doncaster and King's Cross, and the line right goes to Church Fenton, Hull, and Leeds. So in my program, if you want to load up the aircraft data, the Java program would look in the CSV file. So it will look in the CSV file, look through every single line, and put them into an array. And then in that array, you can just query different parts of it, each line. So each line is an array of data, and for each element in the array would be one specific attribute of an aircraft, like its model, seat number, flight number. And then you can put that into a different array to store as an aircraft object, because Java is object oriented. The next part is the root DAO, which the root DAO contains data about each aircraft's route, like from Manchester to Glasgow, like Glasgow to Mallorca. So you have the start airport code, start time, and then the departure airport time, then departure airport code, and then the number of passengers scheduled to be on that. No, not the number of passengers, the flight number for that route. So this will be stored in an XML file. Why am I doing 128 miles an hour? So in the XML file, you need to again loop through all the nodes and child nodes to get out all the data, then put that into a root object, then put those root objects into an array list. So you can just loop through it all to get data out of it. Then next is the passenger numbers, which is stored in an SQLite database, which has to generate and run SQL queries to query data out of a database. I mean, the way some of my friends did it and I did it was to create a new class called passenger numbers class object thing to store the results of the queries of the database. I'm not sure if that was the intended way, but it's a way. And then there's the crew, which contains information about the pilot. So the pilot, the first officer, and all the cabin crew. This is stored in a JSON file. So it's JavaScript object notation. Not what you yell in, whatever the game's called, where that guy's yelling JSON all around the mall. What's that game called? It has something to do with rain. It's on PS3. I've forgotten. And then once you've loaded all the data from all of the files, you then need to generate a scheduler, which is a big fucking giant pain in the ass. Because you have to get all the data from all the different classes that you've put methods into, and then generate a schedule without having anyone conflict with each other. You can't have a pilot being in two places at once, and you can't have a pilot flying a plane that he's not qualified to fly. If you do, you end up getting points, and the person with the lowest amount of points gets the most marks. So the first time, so my current scheduler has a score of 2.35 billion because I assigned random people to random aircraft. You know, you're not supposed to do that. I got a double yellow. It's green now. But I think you get like 80. You get like 80% of the marks just for having a valid schedule. So I don't think I'll be improving my score too much because it doesn't really matter. I think I'll try. Get like a bit below 2.35 billion. I think my lecturer, the one who made the assignment, has a score of about 200 million. That's really low. I think the lowest score a student got is like 490 million. I'm gonna start on a break application because I think we're catching up to the Azuma train to King's Cross. One of you also suggested that I do a journey from King's Cross to York. I already did that in a 91 about a year ago. But that was a 91, that was ages ago, and the timetables have changed. A lot of things have changed. So I'll have to do that in like 4 parts. So part 1 from King's Cross to Stevenage. Part 2 from Stevenage to Peterborough. Part 3 from Peterborough to somewhere in the middle, like Retford. Then part 4 from like Retford to York. I've already made this scenario for part 1 and part 2 from King's Cross to Peterborough. Just need to make this scenario from Peterborough to York. So I think on the scheduler I've spent about 16 hours on it because it's really hard. I am in second year of university. It should be difficult. So I think I just keep my speed at about 80 miles an hour. So I think anyone who does the advanced programming unit might see a plane and get like, so when you get in a plane you're like, are there enough cabin crew? Is a pilot good? Is a pilot qualified? What's the first officer? Is he qualified to fly this as well? I guess if you made a schedule for trains, if you made a schedule for trains, you can just put all the services cancelled, and it would be realistic. So we have about 8-10 miles to Doncaster. Oh yeah, should put the tilt isolate on because 221s have their tilt isolated on cross-country trains services. Because it's not really needed. I mean, most of the East Coast Main Line, the East Coast Main Line and all the other routes that the cross-country TT1s operate don't even support tilting, because there's no need. Oh yeah, I also found that Northern Pacers need to be paired with a accessibility approved unit, like literally any other of Northern's sprinters. So like you'll never see a pacer, well, you'll never see a Northern pacer by itself anymore. I think one of the strange combinations I've seen is a pacer and the 158. Then you put said pacer and 158 on the stopping train between Rochdale and Blackburn via Salford. I mean, why would you put a 158 on a stopping passenger train? 158s weren't designed for that. 158s were designed for express trains. That's why they have doors at each end of the coach and they have a maximum speed of 90. I mean, the trains most suited to stopping trains would be the 150s. 150s do have quite good acceleration, and they have doors towards the middle, so getting off and on is easier. I don't know what cross-country are going to do about their voyages. I mean, they're getting to be 20 years old. Unless they're going to keep them. Same about Virgin's Pendolinos. I mean, the Pendolinos are also getting towards 20 years old. Where I think Avanti have ordered some more IETs. Soon they'll be everywhere. Like everywhere you go, there's an 800, there's an 801, there's an 802, there's an 803, 804. How many 80X trains you want? As I don't think the IETs that Avanti have ordered tilt. I mean, why would you not use a non-tilting train on the West Coast Main Line? The West Coast Main Line is bending. That's the entire reason the Pendolinos were built, with tilting. It's about 4.5 miles to Doncaster. Ah, the passenger view, where the guy just coughs non-stop, and then his phone goes off and doesn't answer it. So we are doing to Doncaster at 15:59. The actual train got in at 16:01. We are also doing at 16:01. How am I speeding? I'm doing 125. Yeah, I should also start braking for Doncaster. Because this train does take quite a while to decelerate from 125. Decelerate, deaccelerate. Slow down. We also have cautionary signals for our approach to Doncaster. We have a single yellow, which means we need to stop at the next signal in half a mile. For some reason, on both of my test drives, the signal was always red. Alright, danger. Oh yeah, I should have pointed this out at the start. I did put the camera view a bit further back so we can see more of the instruments, if you can already tell. So we can see a danger signal up ahead, and then behind that you can see a Doncaster station. Request to pass signal as danger approved. So we can now just start heading into platform 3 Bravo at Doncaster. So on the right will be Doncaster Works. I wonder what they're doing at the moment. Probably just refurbishing some trains. I think I'm just cruising to Doncaster at 25. Seems like a good speed. So on the right you can see a Pacer by itself ready to be scrapped because they're not needed. You also see a 321 because they get replaced by 331s. On the left is a 158 from Hull. Yeah, platform 0 isn't in here, so. And on the far one you can see a disused HST, which is very sad. And a Pacer and a 158. Where's the Pacer going? Cool, Rochdale. So the train does fit. Barely. And there's an East Midlands Railway 156 from Lincoln Central. So this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed me taking this Voyager to Doncaster. Follow me on Twitter for future video updates. I post a lot of things on Twitter, mainly shit posts. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.